the 12 o'clock session with the 12:30 session and play. We've got the CEO from Dorset talking about leading in a time of change. So we're going to do that session now, and then hopefully Gordon can sort out his technical issues and he can come back on it around about 12:30. Thanks very much to Mark Prosser, the CEO of Dorset. We're just going to move right on now and get Gordon back up to the stage, and hopefully we've resolved his technical issues and we can progress with the presentation from Yoti on digital identity and how they've changed their approach during the pandemic. I'll just hand over to yourself, Gordon.
Thanks, Esther. I'm going to have to rattle through this rather quickly because I must be on another call at 1 o'clock. But I think there's an intention to record this separately and put it on the site, I think. But
we're recording all the sessions, and we'll share them with the participants as well as putting them onto the website.
Okay. So are you seeing my screen now, Esther? Esther, you seen my screen?
Yes, yeah, we got it, mate. We got it, mate. You just need to go back to the presentation. Brilliant.
Oh, okay. So hi everyone. My apologies. My machine had an operating system update which blocked everything, hence the problems. But look, I'm going to run through very quickly who Yoti is. I'm going to skip through most of that, but I think importantly, kind of how we've had to pivot or how we've chosen to pivot during times of COVID. And really what we're talking here is kind of innovation on top of innovation. And I'll say more about that as we go through. So, you know, Yoti is about, with a digital identity platform, it's about making it easier for you to prove who you are, to prove your age. It's about mitigating risk for, you know, our customers. And we're also about being disruptive in terms of costing. We're built as a force for good from day one. And we have doing good in our DNA. We have an independent Guardian Council, and they are there to make sure that our principles are, we're true to them. And everything we do, if we think there's any likelihood of it being in conflict with our principles, we always run this past the Guardian Council. So digital identity doesn't mean things to many people, but creating a Yoti is very easy. You have a smartphone, you enter your number, choose a 5-digit PIN, prove it's you through your biometrics, add an identity document that has to be a government-issued anchor identity document like a passport, a photo driving license or a citizen card, and hopefully soon in Scotland a Young Scot card. And then you have your Yoti, and what that gives you then is a reusable digital ID. And that's important because whilst this is free to the consumer, what this allows the consumer to do then is share their ID and share only the information they need to share. So it's about data minimization with relying parties. And as we build that network out, then the utility of a reusable digital ID becomes more and more valuable. We're at that chicken and egg stage just now where, you know, people might want to download a digital identity, whether it's Yoti or something else, but they're also looking for that utility. So it's chicken and egg. What comes first, creating the digital identity or creating the ecosystem? One of the things that's really crucial, and we'll see more importance on this, is being able to store third-party verified credentials. And they can be issued by governments, by organizations or individuals, and it's something that you can rely upon as something that's verified. That could be a degree, it could be a qualification, it could just be your attributes, name, date of birth, etc. But it's becoming really important now that attributes that you own and are verified can be shared with people and can be trusted and relied upon. We verify our users through different forms of data extraction, so reading the biometric chip, for example, in a passport. We also use AI and human likeness checking. We also need to make sure that somebody is a real life person. So again, we do that either through AI and through our facial super recognizers. And we make sure that the photograph that someone is uploading does actually match with the person who's creating that identity. And in terms of how we store data, that's all broken up, sharded, so that even if there was a data breach and we were hacked, the data is worthless because my first name could be against someone else's second name, etc., etc. So we currently have customers in government who use digital identity and use Yoti. We are the digital identity provider for Government of Jersey. And we also work, as Sarah mentioned, with the improvement service to make sure that my account, people can use Yoti to authenticate more securely into my account. But apart from having a reusable digital identity app, Yoti, we also have what we call Powered by Yoti. So document scanning, facial recognition, liveness detection, age estimation. And when Sarah mentioned earlier the getyournec.scot, the National Entitlement Card portal, what we've done there is for the first time given customers in Scotland the opportunity to use the Yoti app to sign into that, or do a one-time transaction by just scanning their passport or driving license into a web camera, and then all the Yoti identity security stuff in the background verifies that individual. So again, it's about supplying choice. Our age scan is, I think, widely recognised as the best on the market, and what that allows us to do is very accurately, through scanning your face, predict or estimate what age you are, and that's particularly accurate in our younger demographics, so between kind of 14 to 25, and that's down to an accuracy of give or take a year or so, which is pretty good. And that's got obvious use cases in retail, alcohol, etc., etc. And one use case we're really proud of is Yubo, which is a social media platform where the chat rooms are age-gated by our age scanning, which flags up a user who, for example, a 35-year-old in a 13 to 17-year-old chat room just shouldn't be there. So it'll flag it up for moderation, and that person then has to verify their account. So lots of good use cases. But COVID came along, and clearly one of the things we had to do was think about what our offerings were in a kind of COVID environment. And we made a pledge to say that, wherever we could provide our services to those who were responsible for fighting coronavirus, then they would be free of charge. And one of the things we did was, one of our first customers to take up that was the NHS. And this was in response to them really not being able to issue identity cards to their staff. And through the Yoti app, we were able to offer them a digital identity card, staff card, which can be issued remotely, can be revoked remotely, and simply linked that individual through their NHS staff card. And with that, there's also additional security features built in, so it can't be spoofed as a digital hologram, and it can also be verified by scanning with the QR code, so much more secure than a normal plastic card. And we then thought, actually, there's an opportunity here to do this for volunteer organisations. We've had massive uptake on that. Again, all delivered for free. So Volunteer Edinburgh are one of our big customers. But we're doing this now with lots of third sector and voluntary sector customers who just find it really difficult through COVID to do this in a face-to-face. They can now deliver these ID cards directly to their volunteer smartphones. And then we started to think about testing. Somebody mentioned earlier on, I think it was our guest from Denmark talking about the need to make sure that these, either the fact that someone's been tested or that someone has been vaccinated, be able to prove that in a verified way. So we started looking at testing organisations, and we struck up a partnership with a company called GeneMe, who are a bioscience company, who their speciality, their innovation is innovative and rapid COVID tests. And our innovation was, how do we use our technology to link the individual with a test and then to that test result? And then in the back of that, we entered CivTech 5 with, again, that offering to Scotland. The challenge, which is challenge 9, was about how do we help the NHS to better protect our communities through innovations around about testing and other technology. So it was kind of tailor-made for what we were doing in this space. And our offer here really is like you say, it is about innovation on top of innovation. So GeneMe are an innovative bioscience company. Yoti are an innovative digital identity company. We've teamed together to allow, as I've said, the testing and the individual to be linked securely. So if someone chooses to, they can have their test result issued directly into their Yoti securely, or they can have that done by email through the Yoti backend. But either way, it allows for fast testing and fast results straight to an individual's smartphone. And I'm just going to, because I'm very conscious of we are short on time, I want to just play this video that kind of brings that to life. Okay, and that was a very, very quick rattle through. You have my details on the screen if anyone wishes to get in touch. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Gordon. I know that you're racing off to be in another meeting. So we'll share the recording of the video, and if anybody's got any questions, we can follow it up and get back to you, and I'll let you disappear and get to your other just a minute or two late. So
my apologies for that. I was just
as these things happen, especially with the digital events, no matter how much we test or practice, there's always something that goes wrong on the day. But thanks very much for working with us to resolve it. I mean, I think the Yoti stuff is truly innovative. I think a lot of the time people talk about innovation, but I think the Yoti stuff is truly innovative and really topical at the moment. So,
Esther, I mean, we are in conversations through CivTech. We're looking to make Scotland an innovation hub round about COVID. So, for example, we are going to be working with the university to take some blueprints that GeneMe have developed for a tiny testing machine. One of the biggest issues about tackling COVID and testing is a lack of testing machines. So we are going to be doing some really innovative work around about a very, very low cost, or a fraction of a normal cost, small portable machine that can be used not just in this country, but in Africa, etc. So this is going to, like globally, changing innovation. So it's really exciting to be involved in this, which is a total pivot away from, digital identity. But if you said to me we were working in bioscience, even just a few months ago, I would say no. But it just shows you how things can totally change.
And I mean, it's so topical at the moment. I was reading something earlier. Support the developing nations, because loads of the richer companies have like vaccines, and it's how we support the developing countries in fighting COVID, because it's a worldwide issue, and if we didn't take a worldwide approach.
Oh, I think I'm losing you, Esther.
Sorry, Esther, we're losing you there.
So it's really good to see some of the affordable or lower cost options that are being.
That's better.
I suppose. Oh.
Okay, thank you for that, and I'd better leave.
Thank you, and we will catch up and record more of that, because that looked an amazing session. So mindful that don't want to screw up your next meeting. So thank you so much, Gordon, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you. So thanks, everyone. That's the end of today's sessions. Feel free to stop around, catch up with people, and tomorrow we'll be looking at the people side of change. So we've talked a lot about it across these 3 days, and tomorrow's definitely focused at the people side. So hopefully see you tomorrow, and thank you all very, very much.